Hey everybody, welcome back. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to apologize for my fingers. I literally just finished this journal. It has been kind of a little bit of a labor of love, but I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. So here we have the cover, and I was able to bind the book in a way that you could still see everything on the cover, which is really what I was really hoping to do. So here's a look at the back cover. So yeah, I really love how this ended up. And here we have the spine. So really cool spine. Let me open it. Here you go. So I did a little bit of a collage here, and lots of hand stitching. Each one of these little holes, I had to use my pokey tool and poke through a lot of layers and obviously wood here. So it's I don't know if it's a journal style that I will do often, but I definitely love how this turned out. To be honest, I ended up making 2 small journals, which I'll show in another video. Maybe tomorrow I'll film that, but I did 2 practice journals, which both ended up really cool looking, which is a really good idea. I'm so glad that I took a little bit of extra time to do that, because otherwise I could have potentially messed up these cover pieces, and I really didn't want to do that. So as you can see, it is a hollow back binding. I've got a lot of bits and pieces and frayed ends, which is intentional. I wanted it to look old and kind of worn and weathered. So, okay, let me quit messing around. Let me show you the inside. Alright, so inside front cover is the same paper that was on the actual cigar box. The only thing I really did here was I glued this washi tape on. And then, of course, I mentioned in my, I can't remember which video it was, but I did a couple of coats of, it's called Polyvine, and it's a wax varnish that's dead flat finish, and couple, like 3 or 4 thin coats of that over it, and this is pretty solid. I don't see it really, unless you're like trying to pull something off of there. I don't know that anything's gonna come off of there. So as you can see, I did some cross stitching to connect the spine to the covers, and then here, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so some stamping and a little bit of collaging. There's a lot of most of the paper in here is going to be Tim Holtz coffee dyed paper. I did a lot of stamping. These are from DCWV. This is the Old World stack. There's a couple of papers from that. And then they had white on the back sides. So I did a painting technique, and I don't know how well you can see it. I'll show it in another one, but there's some gold and bronze paint that I used on top of that. So some coffee dyed notebook paper. This is a fun little tuck spot that I did. I originally had joked around that he was driving a car, and then it ended up that I couldn't find another spot for him, so he ended up staying here. And then this is just another piece of ephemera from, I want to say it's 7 Gypsies. And then behind this pocket I have, this is one of my practice sheets for the painting technique that I did. So you can use that to journal on. Some coffee dyed paper here, and then this folds out to a collage. This is all glued down here, but lots of writing space and all that good stuff there. Another little collage. This is from a magazine from 1890 something. It's very old. And then some washi on the pocket here, and then I just stuck a coffee dyed tag from another scrapbook pad in here as more journaling spot. And then I do have some, they're like washi tape stickers and I said I was going to figure out who it was that was the artist. If you remember, put it in the comments below. I actually am a big fan of this artist. He's from the 1920s is when he got popular. This is from a book that I have. I believe this was a drawing of maybe New Orleans. The kitchen of the restaurant, New Orleans, is what that says there. On the back side, so this is continuing the pocket from the other side. And then inside there, I added a playing card that is backed with some craft paper. And then as you can see, there's some washi and then more journaling places here for you to add whatever you'd like. This is some scrapbook paper that's like a ledger. And the infamous Mildred Stone makes her appearance yet again. If you watched some of my videos putting this book together, you'll know what that means. In this pocket, I've put just a Tim Holtz journaling card. And then this is a big sticker of a stamp that I put on top of a really old dictionary page. And then that's on top of a book page. So this ended up becoming a little pocket here, and then this is just some lined paper that I tucked into there for some more journaling, and there's the rest of that painted page. I love the colors of this journal, and then because I did a hollow back binding, it sits fairly flat. I mean, there are 5 signatures in this journal. It's not small. This is chunky, but it turned out really, I'm pleased with it. So here we have an image from a Reader's Digest book, and then I just pasted that on top of what was an orange tag that I then dyed with some distress inks. And then here we have another Tim Holtz tag that I took some bits and pieces and just added some more to it. And then the back side is ready to be written on. That just tucks in there, and so then there's the first signature. So the start of the second signature, we have some more of that paper that I was testing the paints with to see what color I wanted to use. This is, it says Mr. Tibbetts there, some Tim Holtz washi and another Tim Holtz person here. And then this flips up, so I backed this paper with just some more coffee dyed paper so that this can be written on here. And then on the back side, I have stamped one of those light fixture stamps that I was showing you, and then just a little bit more washi there so you can hide some journaling, or if you have your own picture or something there, be a great place for that. The back side of that lovely Tim Holtz paper. Some more coffee dyed paper. Here we have another little tuck spot that kind of turned into another collage. So I had kind of been messing around with this the whole time. I never really figured out where to put it, so I thought this looked like the perfect spot. And then the back side, this is kind of glossy, but it would be perfect if you had a little photograph or something. Here we have a little sticker here of a really old camera, and then another little sticker here. It says cast of characters, and then this is a little typewriter, and then this does flip open for some more journaling. And then down here is another little sticker. You could like write a little something else there if you wanted to. Back side of that paper might be my favorite painting job. I'm not sure. I really love how these turned out. They're really smooth to the touch. It's kind of hard to describe, actually. And then here we have, looks like a receipt, or yeah, a guest check type thing that's vintage. Here's just some coffee dyed paper. Oh, I think this is book page, and then this backside had printing from the book on it, so I backed it with another piece of paper, and then I just added this other piece of ephemera here with stapler. And then here we have the Traveler. It's just a little bit of extra paper that this was why I wanted to save it, because it's pretty awesome. And then I just sandwiched this person in there along with it and paper clipped it to this music sheet here. And then on the back side again, covered some of the music with just some more coffee dyed paper, and then there's a little tuck spot here with some Tim Holtz vellum, and then this is a coffee dyed little tag. Some more Tim Holtz paper here. I just love the color of this, the red. It's just so cool. So I didn't do anything to this. I couldn't bring myself to do anything to it. So that's for you. That's for somebody, the person that gets this, to fill that part in. And then here we have another, the other side of that music paper, and I have these stickers that are like old, leathery, really old paper looking and kind of like burnt around the edges and stuff. So stuck that down. It does sound like it might be coming up. I might need to fix that before I send this off. Just reinforcing it with some glue. And then I stuck this tag on here and created another pocket, and in the pocket we have some airmail. It's just another little bit of scraps that can be used for some more journaling spot, but I like the envelope and the airmail stamp. It worked really well together. So here's just the back side of those, and then this lovely paper again. It's just gorgeous, the metallic of it. And then here's just another little collage. This is all glued down, but you could maybe like add some writing here, and then if you had a picture or something, or you could put a picture here and kind of write a little bit about it there. Or if this is a strictly writing journal, this is just some more writing space for you to use. Looks like this one's going to be losing some bits and pieces. So this back page might be my favorite page in the journal. I don't know. I have a lot of favorites in this one, but again, this was my testing of some watercolor paints to see which ones I might want to be using in the journal to paint those papers with, and I couldn't let it go to waste, so I decided to go ahead and collage on top of it with this is from a letter from 1910. This is the actual antique letter, and then some washi, and then one of the Tim Holtz people, and this is watercolor paper here, so it is pretty sturdy. So I made it into a little tuck spot, and then I did have this leftover paper from another project, so I just tucked that in there as some more journaling. And then over here is kind of like a little, it's a sticker, but it's like I thought it was paint, but maybe someone else who knows French would disagree with me, but I thought it went well with this other page. So and then this was the this is a page that I kind of struggled with, to be honest with you. It's a bit busy, and I like how it ended up, but you know, just some collage, and then I did combine these two strips of paper together to create a little tuck spot. I'm looking next to me to find something to show you. So it's not super, it's not going to hold a whole lot, but you could tuck something into there easily enough. And then, oh, this is some vintage ledger. It's kind of thin. I don't know if you can see my hand through there, but it's kind of thin, but it's really good for writing on. Oh, and here's this page. This is glued down, and then I did end up going back and adding this moth to the top of it. I just, after watching the video of me messing around with it, I liked how it looks so much. I thought I needed to make sure and do that. So, and then up here, I took that little file folder and turned it into a little tuck spot. So here is a what's made to look old but is not old ticket, and that just tucks in there, and you can use that for some more journaling space. And then I've closed that up, this little file folder up, with a paper clip and tucked some little goodies into here. So here's that tag that I kept saying I loved, but I could never find a place for it. This is a sticker. It's one of those stickers that's made to look like old paper. I think this is made to look like an old journal maybe, or a file. And then here's some more of that coffee dyed notebook paper. So let's tuck that right in there. And then this is from Seven Gypsies. It's from their Serengeti, I guess maybe line. I'm not familiar with that, but went ahead and just stuck that on there, kind of thinking maybe this person that this journal was for was on like a safari, or you know, just did a lot of traveling and stuff. Well, I guess this is becoming a journaling spot. I guess we lost a page, so let me find the back side of that. Oh, that's never happened before, but that's okay. We've got 2 more journaling spots now. So I'll tuck these into the journal somewhere. But anyway, that's embarrassing. Well, it's good that it happened now instead of in your hands. I guess this paper was older than I thought it was and more frail. But this is a book page from learning how to become a surveyor. So I really liked it because it's got a lot of like graphy type map type stuff like this, and then I covered the back side of it, which was just writing with some other paper so that you could write whatever you wanted to on there. Pasted that onto it, and then this is just a Tim Holtz little phrase, said every road should have a path, and then I just outlined that to kind of help it stand out. So I'll find a spot in the book for this somewhere. And then the other side of that is this, and this was one of the pages that I had turned the coin papers into kind of a collage, and ended up being a pocket. So this is a sticker, and then some washi here, and so you could write on there. And then this is a vintage stamp, and then I have some stamps that look like these kind of stamps that you would put on an envelope. And so I stamped over that, and then inside there is just this little journaling, or I guess ephemera, piece of ephemera from Seven Gypsies, I think. So that just tucks down into there. So I'll find a spot in this journal somewhere for both of these to live before I send it out. So don't worry, you'll get these. And then some coffee dyed paper, some more stamping here. Just the architectural stamping is really cool. This is some scrapbook paper. It's a little bit thick, of just like ledger. And then this is another book page that I have from, it's a fossil book of all of their like old advertising, and Fossil's just such a neat brand. They have a lot of really cool marketing material. So it's it looks like it's old, but it's not really. So I really appreciated the way it looked, and I wanted to keep it in there. So and then this page, this is a tip out that's added to this page with some washi. And this is an actual, I think, from a really old book, and then this is just a picture of a jaguar, and I was kind of thinking it looked like he was still on safari, or still documenting the safari here, and so that's why I added that here. And then I just backed that with some more coffee dyed paper, and then stamped this little travel record stamp down here. Again, this is some scrapbook paper, so it's a little bit thicker, but it's made to look old and coffee dyed, or, you know, just dyed. It's the other side of that fossil marketing, or book page. I did cover, it did say fossil brand or fossil something up here, and I just didn't want it to look super like branding all of a sudden out of nowhere in the book, so I did kind of cover some of that in here. I know somebody asked me in a previous video if I had something against Fossil. I really don't. And actually the purse that I have right now, that I absolutely love, and I don't ever want it to, you know, stop being wonderful, is a Fossil purse. To be honest with you, I've kind of had my eye open for another Fossil purse to replace it, because I know at some point I will have to replace it. But no, I've loved Fossil my entire life, and I definitely appreciate their creativity in advertising. And so I guess don't don't think that I didn't appreciate Fossil, because that's not what it was. But so here's the last page of the signature. I took one of those Tim Holtz cards of the Tim Holtz people and made a tuck spot, and then this was another one of those pages that was kind of a tester page for some of that painting that I was doing. And then here we go into the next signature. So you guys saw me put this page together in a previous video. So this was the collaging that I did of the coin papers that I had, and it's a pretty nice pocket. I went ahead and there was some things that I kept flipping through that I never ended up using in here, so I went ahead and put those into this file folder, and I'll provide this to you. This is just some leftover dictionary page. Here's that one page that I just never really could find a spot for. Folded it in half and put it in here, and that way whoever gets this journal can use that in their journal, or if they have a different journal they want to use it in, that'd be perfect too. But sitting right there and it's ready for you. So actually maybe I'll just throw these two in here too, and that way they won't get lost. Okay, so some more of that ledger looking paper, that's scrapbook paper. Some more stamping here, which is, this is a little journal and then like a fountain pen nib down here. Some more Tim Holtz paper. This is from an antique book about birds in North America, and I did a little bit of collaging here. This is a lady on some vellum paper that's glued down, and then this is a little sticker and some washi, and then in the pocket here is just another coffee dyed just scrapbook paper. So for some more journaling spot, this is a nice, looks like handmade paper, but it's more, I think, shipping paper. Might want to use a ballpoint pen on this page. I don't know. It to me feels like it would take ink and kind of bleed a little bit. Just as a heads up, I guess. So here we have some more ephemera. This is, I think, Tim Holtz ephemera. And then you guys saw me put this page together too. So this is a little tip open that's held on with some washi that is glued on. All the washi that's in here, I do put glue stick on before I stick it down to make it more secure. And then another one of those washi style stickers of the pretty lady. And this is a painted page from a prior project. Here's some actual ledger paper from, it says 1947 and 1948. So I can't really read the writing very well, but you can go ahead and try. It's pretty cool. So, and then I did reinforce the spine of that with some washi on both sides to keep it from ripping like the other paper did. And then another piece of this painted paper, which is just gorgeous. I just absolutely love this paper. And then you guys also saw me put this together. It's a little tuck spot here. This is a sticker. It's an Anna Griffin bird sticker that I put on top of a really old dictionary page. And then I did add some like watercolor around that. I didn't stick anything back here, but there's certainly room for you to hide something there. So I guess I probably should hurry up. It's going to be a long video. Here we have another page with the little stamp of the light, hanging light. And then I didn't do much else on this page other than add this photo, which is one of the Tim Holtz old antique looking photos on some Tim Holtz paper. This is like vials and I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it looks like some screws and might be like hardware type kind of stuff. It's different. Okay, so then that's the rest of that signature, and now we are in the final signature. Okay, and I don't think you guys have seen this because I feel like I did all of this off camera, so let me walk you through. Okay, so on this first page we have another one of those papers that I had tested the paint and dye on, and I did back this with another sheet of paper. It's just some book page. And then I did sew around all of that twice with some messy sewing. And then, as you can see, I turned that into a pocket this way, so you can stick something in here. And then I did paste this gentleman on there. And then I made another pocket that you can put something in this direction in the top. And this is where I showed you I had... it's like acetate, but it looks like old antique-y photos. So whatever you put behind there is going to instantly make it look like an antique photo. So that's kind of cool. So you basically have two little pockets here. So kind of neat. And then some more Tim Holtz paper, some coffee dyed paper. Here's some coffee dyed thinner scrapbook paper with the world map on it. Notebook paper. Here we have another just a little tuck spot, and I just did some washi, and then this metallic looking, it's a sticker that I actually did glue down. This is another one of those kind of sturdy cardstock. It's made to look old. And then in there I tucked these two checks and receipts that are vintage into that little pocket. And then of course the back side is that lovely painted paper again. And here we have some more of that fossil book page, and I turned two of them into a big pocket with nothing inside. So those are ready for you to fill up with your goodies and treasures. Some coffee dyed paper that's got a stamp there, some more coffee dyed paper. This is actually a belly band, so you could stick something down in there like so. I glued it and then I sewed it. So the sewing, it's not as wide as the sewing, unfortunately. So that, just know that. Try not to rip it, I guess. It's not super sturdy. And then here's some more of this lovely Tim Holtz paper. I just absolutely adore this color. And then on this inside flap, I added this piece of vellum. It's like a calendar, yearly calendar. And then this was another one of those book pages from that antique bird book. So I just tucked that in there. That folds up there. And then here on the other side, so now you can read, it says advertising across the top. This actually was just, when I was ripping the pages to make the signatures even, this is one of the pieces that was from the side. And it was, you don't usually have it where you can still kind of make out what the word is. So I thought it was perfect. I had to use it in here somewhere, so I ended up doing it this way. And then I just made this little kind of flip thing with one of the Tim Holtz people on the card, and then one of the Tim Holtz journaling cards, and then I just combined the two with some washi on both sides. So that's what that looks like. So then you just tuck that over the top and he sits in there nicely. And or if you wanted to put him somewhere else in the book, you could do that. Here's the other side of that pocket, which again is empty and ready to be filled. And then the back side of that painted paper. Oh, and then here is another page from, it's from a Reader's Digest. I just loved the painting and how it was so kind of modeled, and I don't know, it just kind of seemed manly, I don't know, to me. So I turned this into another hidden kind of journaling spot, and then on the back side added some more of that paper. And then underneath I have kind of like a hidden little journaling spot with just a tag, and then I stapled, I'm sorry, I keep saying so sorry. I I stapled this vellum, what looks like an old envelope, and then this Tim Holtz person on top. And this is just another Tim Holtz journaling card here that's tucked in there and kind of hidden away for some more journaling. And we're just about to the end. So some more coffee dyed paper, and then here we have that old antique typewriter. It's a sticker, and then I just put it on top of a journaling card that turned into a little pocket. And then here we have just simple tags tucked in there, ready to be filled up. And here we have the back. So this is where I ended up putting the scrap page collaging papers that I had said I wanted to use somewhere in the book. So this is glued down, and actually I did take the polyvine finish that I did, and I did go over the edges. I didn't do this whole thing because I didn't want it to feel plasticky or, you know, different or weird, but I did want to protect the edges. So just, it is pretty well secure. And then obviously you can see there's some more cross stitching here on the back side. And then I showed you the back earlier. So here is the journal. I'm kind of pleased. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's definitely a fun, different journal for me. There's lots of room for you to add your memories. I don't even need to add anything to hold it together. There's plenty of room for more things to be added, and yeah, it's a pretty fun one. So hope you've enjoyed coming along with me on this fun little journey. And if this is a book that you might be interested in purchasing, I will have it available in my Etsy shop, and the link to that will be down in the description box below. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye!